Alright, I want to say all praises to Yahweh in his name of his son Yahweh Shai. Name of the Heavenly Father, true name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, and the true name of his son is Yahweh Shai. It is not Jehovah, nor is it Jesus, but Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Right? Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, right? Which rule well. Salutations to all the brothers that's pushing this work in all sincerity and in truth. I'm the brother Yahya from the JMS Kingston, Jamaica camp, here once again with another lesson, right? And this one is basically learning how to be in subjection to the higher powers, right? Which the higher powers is referring to is the government, right? The ruling government, the one who is in control of the state or a particular country. When you read the book of Romans chapter 13 verse 1, it says, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, right? For there is no power but of God, meaning that the Heavenly Father is the one who placed them there. When you read the book of Daniel chapter 4, let's get it, Daniel chapter 4 verse 17, right? What does it say? It says Daniel chapter 4 verse 17 say, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over it the basis of men. Right? So the Heavenly Father is the one who rules in the kingdom of man, and he giveth it to whosoever he will. So be subject to the higher powers, for there is no power but of God, because the Heavenly Father is the one who gives them that power, right? The powers that be are ordained of God. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation, right? For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. So there are laws, there are statutes, and there are commandments which are present in this current society. But there is a particular way in how to go after them, right? The precept tell you in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 16 says, be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? Right? Now the laws of this current society tells you that you can have homosexuals. Right? In America it's legal for two men to marry. Right? In other countries, it's legal to have bestiality, which are against the laws and commandments of the Heavenly Father. But does the laws and of the Heavenly Father, commandments of the Heavenly Father, gives you right to go and kill a homosexual, to go and kill somebody that has sex with animals? No, it doesn't. Right? Right now, we're not in our power. We are not in our kingdom. Right? The kingdom is basically given unto the basis of men, so that is expected of them. But the time of judgment is coming. The time is coming when the Heavenly Father is going to lay them low. He's going to basically put them in a state where they are going to be in captivity. Then they are going to be under the subjection of the laws and commandments of the Heavenly Father. You can read the book of Isaiah chapter 2, and that tells you that they are going to come up to the house of Israel to basically get judged, or to basically for the laws shall basically go forth from the house of Israel. So right now, the scripture says, be not righteous over much. So you see the homosexuals, them there walking by and doing whatever they are doing, stick to the words, right? Judge them according to the word, in terms of letting them know that what they're doing is wrong, right? But you're not supposed to enact the judgment, which is death, right? The Heavenly Father is the one who's going to come forth and enact that judgment himself, right? So be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over much wise, right? Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? right? So you don't destroy yourself by putting yourself in a position where you are going to be judged according to the laws of the land, right? Because what? 1 Corinthians 6 verse 12 says, all things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. So all things are lawful but not expedient, meaning not profitable, right? So though the laws of the Heavenly Father would not judge you wrongfully for doing things that are against the laws of this current land, right? They are not profitable, because at the end of the day, it's going to cause you to be in a position where you might not be able to push the word anymore. Can you push the word from in prison? No. So you have to basically be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove, right? You have to learn how to maneuver your way, maneuver yourself in the way of the word, so that you don't cause an offense to the scriptures, but nevertheless you don't cause an offense to the current society. Now, when it comes to the laws of this land, enforcing something that is on you, that causes you to break the laws of the Heavenly Father, then that's where we have to basically stick to the righteous path, right? To strive for the truth unto death. If they're coming to you and trying to force you to eat pork, force you to take the RFID chip, force you saying that you have to become something such as a homosexual, or force you to worship another god, then that's where we draw the line, because we are not going to do that. That is going against the standards of the Heavenly Father. But as long as the laws of the land aren't forcing you to do that, then by all means, adhere to what they're saying. Currently, we're in a stage where the laws are saying that we're supposed to wear a mask. It's basically mandatory for you to wear a mask in public spaces and to have social distancing. By all means, that doesn't contradict the laws of the Heavenly Father. So, by all means, abide by their standards and do what they said to do. So, 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 13 says this: submit yourselves to every ordinance of man for the Lord's sake, whether it be to the king as supreme, or unto governors as unto them that are sent by him, for the punishment of evildoers, and for the praise of them that do well. For so is the will of God, that with well-doing he may put to silence ignorance of the foolish men. So that with well-doing, right? So that's why you're not going to see us, the Hebrew Israelites of JMS, get up saying that we are rising, we are basically taking up arms against the government, right? The scripture tells you, wait ye upon the Lord. He is the one that will rise up to the prey. So that is the position we're in right now. We're in a position where we have to understand who the adversary is, the power that the adversary has, and what we are supposed to do in response to that, right? Matthew chapter 5 verse 25 say, agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison, right? So agree with thine adversary quickly, right? It doesn't mean that you're supposed to take a fall that you're not guilty of, right? It means to basically make amends, to say what is necessary to make everything basically be calm, to quell tension, so to speak. If you run into the officer asks you for your license and registration, don't ask the officer why he pull you over. By all means, give the officer your license and registration, right? The officer asks you, where is your mask? If you don't have it on, put it on. If you don't have it, say, officer, I'm going to buy one right now. I'm on my way to get one, because I haven't left the house since this quarantine thing, so I'm going to get one, right? The scripture says, a soft answer turneth away wrath. So we have to be as wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. We have to know how to respond to respond in times when we are going to be judged. The scripture tells you, yo, the Heavenly Father is going to give you a mouth that no man shall gainsay nor resist. When they bring us up to the judges to be judged, the Heavenly Father is going to put a mouth in us that we are going to be able to respond in a manner that is just, that is righteous, and that is profitable. Right? That is profitable. When in the book of I think it's Matthew chapter 24. Let's me get that. Matthew chapter 24. It's like a 22 verse. I think it's 21. Alright then. Let me start up a little. Matthew chapter 22, verse 20 to verse 15. It says, this is an example of how Yahushua responded to the Pharisees when they were trying to entangle him in his words. They were trying to basically let Yahushua look like an offender to the state. Right? But Yahushua was wise in how he responded, so that he would not be judged according to the laws of the state. Right? If they were going to find him guilty, they would have found him guilty unjustly. So we are supposed to be of like mind. If they are going to bring up charges against us, let them bring up unjust charges. Don't let them persecute us because of ignorance or because of pride, or we are trying to be righteous over much. Right? Let them judge us wrongfully. Understand? Verse 22 verse 15 said, then went the Pharisees and took counsel how they might entangle him in his words, in his talk. And they sent out unto him their disciples with the Herodians, saying, Master, we know that thou art true and teachest the way of God in truth. Neither carest thou for any man, for thou regardest not the person of men. Tell us therefore, what thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? But Yahushua perceived their wickedness, and said, why tempt ye me, ye hypocrites? Shew me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny. And he said unto them, whose is this image and superscription? They say unto him, Caesar's. Then said he unto them, render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto God the things which are God's. So this is a very significant point that Yahushua made. Render unto the government, render unto the powers that be the things which are due unto them, but the things which are God, render unto the Heavenly Father. Always make sure that the balance that you are putting in terms of judgment is always weighing heavier on how much you're supposed to abide in the stead of the Heavenly Father. Right? Don't make the laws of the land cause you to be cast off from the path of abiding instead of the Heavenly Father. That is the balance. So render unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto God the things which are God's. Right? So I think that's a beautiful end to this lesson. So with that, I hope that this lesson was edifying. I want to say all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh through His Son Yahushai, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Grammars 2, and salutations all the brothers pushing this word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom.